WBIM presents the Saturday Night Soundtrack. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the campus of Bridgewater State University. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your night. Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Van Halen, Aerosmith, Beatles, Eric Clapton, Pink Floyd, The Who, U2, AC/DC, Tom Petty, Allman Brothers, Ozzy, Neil Young, and hundreds more. Take us along wherever you go with the Livestream.com app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. So go get some food in the belly and gas in the tank as BSU's Alumni Saturday rocks on. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer begins now.
I'm gonna blow your face out!
On Bridgewater's own 91.5 WBIM.
That's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. For the last time this semester, Saturday Night Soundtrack is underway. Welcome to it. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. Straight up 7 o'clock here, and how are you doing?
Thank God we are on.
Oh, we're here.
At last.
We're here. It's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock, so call us up, 508-531-1303. Run through the usual places you can find us. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack, and you can check us out on YouTube. If you just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack and filter for channels, we're the first thing that's going to come up there, and all of our old programs are up there, old and new and everything else in between. And that's going to be important because for the next 4 months, when you're not going to be able to listen to us, you're going to be able to listen to all the flashbacks of Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you'll be able to, we'll keep you company throughout the summer, even when we can't physically be here.
Yep. You can also find us at the local post office.
Potentially, yes.
You could find us out in the parking lot, sitting there for 2 hours waiting to come on the damn show because we thought we were going to be on earlier tonight.
You can find us there, too.
I thought the British was a little bit more, reserved.
You know what?
Tonight.
I always thought, I wouldn't even necessarily say not tonight. I always thought the British were more reserved until I really got to know Steve.
Yes.
And I didn't really get to know Steve until we were doing this program together.
Exactly.
I knew Steve, obviously, for anybody who doesn't know. I'm the only one with an affiliation of this damn college here and this station. Steve and Jared have nothing to do with the college or anything else. I just bring them in, and they add numerous things to the program, of course. But I met Steve, not through this college or this station or any other affiliation. I met Steve through when I was working at Target.
Oh, yeah.
And, there's only so much you can get to know about a person from just knowing them from, working in a retail store. And I didn't really know that much about him. And then all of a sudden we started doing this show, and I started to get to know his personality and his sense of humor, and the fact that, he's just not as reserved as I thought the British always were.
No. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Not by a long shot.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Oh, God. Anyway.
So it's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock for the last time.
Yes.
Until September, that is. I wish I knew a little bit more about what's going to happen in September.
Oh, God, that's so infuriating.
We've talked about this before, the fact that there's no knowledge whatsoever about what the next semester is going to bring. Usually by this point, there's already been a scheduling meeting and all sorts of things, and they've already told us exactly what's going to be going on. We don't know anything about what's going to be going on. Mm-hmm. All we know is that, if this station is going and college students are still the way college students are now, we're going to have a show because I'm just going to make sure that we have a show. And college kids don't want to come in here and do a show on Saturday night.
No way.
Commit to something like that. I mean, that's just insane. So I'm going to make sure that we have a show that we can come back in here and do and all that other good stuff. And if you like us on Facebook and if you follow us on Twitter, Saturday Night Soundtrack and Twitter is at SN Soundtrack. Any details or information or developments that come up over the summer, if I find out anything, I'm gonna throw everything up there and let everybody know as soon as I know, and we'll keep up with it that way. So everybody will be in the know eventually, even if nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem we have is some a-hole trying to steal more time from us than they already did. So.
And here we go.
Oh, man.
And the show's going.
Offending people.
That's what we do.
That's what we do best.
That's how it goes. That's how the show's always run. And nothing's going to change
Just be
now.
called the offenders.
Yes.
And the offenders are here.
I thought we were going to be the elitists, no? We're leaning towards
We
the
could be
offenders
the
now?
elitist offenders.
Well, we could.
Yes.
We could mix all sorts of stuff
We're
together.
better than everybody.
Yes, we are.
F it. I don't care.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm better than your show. Take that.
Unfortunately, you can't drop that mic because it's on an arm.
I just- I found a way.
First block of classic rock for the night coming up. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Deep Purple on deck.
The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks is on 91.5 WBIM. Bridgewater's weekend all-request classic rock experience.
Rush is on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, wrapping up a big block of classic rock there. CCR was before that. Heard Ozzy Osbourne, Van Halen, Jay Giles Band, and U2 all in that block. Kicked it off with Deep Purple, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. It's 7:33. And
Just see how you just reeled off all those band names.
I did.
That, an or an
Did you notice
or
that?
Anything.
that's a professional outfit here, sir.
Professional.
Well, as subtle as a rhino.
Doing classic rock until 11 o'clock, so give us a call, 508-531-1303. Once again, like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. This is the last show of the semester, but you still should probably like us and follow us in those places, whatever is your social media outlet of choice, if not both. Because we're going to post some stuff over the summer. I said this last year, and I'm going to say it again, that I'm going to attempt to post some best of clips and so forth, and put some of that stuff up there. I also want to do, and I wanted to run this idea by you guys, and maybe I'll run it by now, something I was thinking of doing just to sort of keep the presence of the Saturday Night Soundtrack going on social media during the summer. I was thinking of doing maybe like a little trivia bit about the show. Every week, like maybe once every Saturday when we would normally be on. Since we can't be on, throw up a little piece of trivia, something about how the show is prepared, something about one of us, something to that effect to sort of keep people going. Sort of interesting tidbits.
That'd be good.
Something along those lines. I'll be in contact with you guys and get suggestions and so forth, things you'd like to see up there.
I could suggest things.
I could tell you how, maybe something about how I put together the playlist or how the show was done or, when you guys came on and the dates and all that
stuff.
stuff.
Listen to some Tom Petty.
No, we could do that as well, actually, coming up. So we could do anything you want as far as that's concerned. So that's just something I was thinking about.
No, that sounds good.
Steve brought in these interesting programs. This was from the Reading Rock 80 concert.
Yeah.
This is coming from overseas, of course.
Of course it is.
A whole bunch of information in here. And I refrained from saying the very first thing that came to my mind as soon as you handed me this because I realized that it could be taken as offensive, but I don't mean it that way. As soon as you handed this to me, my initial reaction was to say, oh, this is great. I can read this when I'm on the can.
Yeah.
But I don't. And
Why not?
And that sounds degrading, but I don't mean it like that. I mean, this is very interesting, and that is the place where I usually read interesting things.
There you go.
And that's the time when I have the most time.
My father did the same thing. He kept him hidden under the carpet.
Yeah, and it's like I got time to myself. I'm sitting there. I'm not doing anything else, so I'm not multitasking. This thing can get 100% of my attention.
Exactly.
And when I read things that I really want to read and concentrate on, sadly, that's pretty much where I do it.
Yeah.
So when I say that I'm going to read this on the can, take that as a compliment.
I did.
All right.
Oh, yes.
508-531-1303. You can listen to us on the can if you want. Livestream.com. It's a website that's a free app at the iTunes and Google Play stores.
You get some great echo.
When you're taking a...
Yeah, you can. Thanks for editing yourself. You can say I don't have any room for. You can take your phone in with you, your smartphone, and you can listen to us in there while you're dropping cake or whatever you want to call it, and listen to a classy program. How's that?
There you
That's
go.
how it goes. Steve, you and I are married.
Yeah, not to each other.
No, we hasten to point out. No, it doesn't. Does your wife go for mani-pedis, as they say nowadays?
No, she does not.
Okay, so my wife does. All right, and apparently there's a whole subculture of rules and regulations that I am not aware of.
This I'm not aware of.
Okay, here's the thing, right? So I didn't realize. So my wife comes home from the nail salon today, amused by the fact that there are so many. She said, "quote so many weirdos." In the nail place, so I was my immediate reaction. Well, what do you mean? And then she's explaining all these things to me, and she's like, "So this woman, she goes in." And then first of all, she complains about how long she's been waiting, and they always tell you, she's like, and she said, the woman told her 10 minutes, and she'd been waiting 45 minutes. And she was like, but that's what they always say. They always say 10 minutes, even if it's going to be an hour.
Oh,
and I was like, well, isn't that misleading? If I'd be probably pissed if I was in a place and they told me 10 minutes and it was an hour. She's like, no, that's how it goes at the nail salon places. They know that if they tell you an hour, you're going to walk out. So they just always tell you 10 minutes, even if you can physically see that there's 8 people waiting in front of you.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's interesting. Okay, so continue. So apparently that was the first thing, is that don't believe whatever they do. Not that you're going to go in anytime soon.
I might just test its theory.
But apparently they just tell you 10 minutes no matter how long it's going to be. And then so she's like, well, this, and then after complaining, this woman gets up and she starts having her nails done and everything, and they're like pre-treating them and whatnot. And then she asks if they have a particular color. I was like, well, yes. Okay. He's like, well, that's the first thing you do when you go into that place. You go over to the wall and you pick a color. That's like nail 101.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I didn't understand it. I mean, why can't they just pick the color at any time? And she's like, they cannot pick the color at any time. That's not how it goes.
Oh, my.
I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Everybody relax. And then the next thing that she said was that I guess they after they're doing all the stuff and they're drying your nails and everything, you're supposed to you're supposed to sit there and you're not supposed to actually do anything or move around so that your nails don't get nicked or messed up or anything else. Which I guess is more common sense,
makes sense, yeah.
than a place like that. And I guess this woman was moving all about and everything else. And then the last thing she said was that she got up and she was going to try to put her tip on the card. And then the woman, and she's like, you can't put your tip on the card. I was like, what do you mean you can't put your tip on the card? She's like, they don't, at those places, you got to give them cash. They can't put the tip on the card. She's like, half of them don't have Social Security numbers. They just got off the boat.
No.
I was like,
okay.
This is like a whole new world that I know nothing about.
Me neither.
If for whatever reason I ever had to go into a nail establishment and get anything done, I would be at a complete loss, and I'd probably be like some of those jabronis that she was complaining about, didn't know what was going on. She's like, have these people never had their nails done before? I'm like, I don't know any of these things you just explained to me. None of this sounds familiar to me at all. I didn't realize. I would have taken 3 or 4 of these things already for granted. And I was like, that sounds very stressful to have to understand this entire subculture of things that you're supposed to do. I go to Supercuts, I get my hair cut, I tell them what I want as soon as I sit in the chair. I leave. I put the tip on the card, and I'm out. That's it. That's how it goes. I don't want to know any special rules.
Nope.
I don't want anything happening. I don't want to have to understand anything like it's a secret menu deal. Just tell me you know what I mean? Like, let me just go in there and partake in the service that you provide. Hopefully, when you tell me 10 minutes, it's going to be friggin' 10 minutes, and then I can get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Was that no?
That was Mike.
Oh, why was it Mike? Oh, so one last thing before we get into the next block of Classic Rock. There was a contentious phone call, apparently. So Jared runs in to take the call and probably regrets it because it was Mike who called during the last, Mikey D called during the last break. Apparently, and by the way, he's potentially going to be paying, quote, a late night visit to us.
Okay.
I hope he means here on the program. And
Not to our homes.
it's the only time I want to see him, and even then. And, so hopefully he can, drag himself in here for the last episode of the season. Jesus.
Yeah, he's coming up in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. Well, that's fantastic.
I'm going to make sure
we'll-
I'm out of here before
We'll
then.
talk to him then. I got a couple of issues and topics I want to talk to him about before we close out for the semester, because I figure we should close with a bang, and we should probably do it with these topics. So
Yes, we
we'll
should.
take care of that when he gets back up here, and then we'll do some more classic rock, and then well, this is kind of how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
508-531-1303. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. Tom Petty on deck.
Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks is all request. Call 508-531-1303. The classic is our parts. What we rock is up to you.
It's Boston 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack wrapping up another block of classic rock. The Who in there as well. Joe Cocker, Metallica, Rush, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and Jared apparently has turned into my dad at some point, concerned about the math that got done on our campus pizza order. But our campus pizza food is here, so I'm glad about that. This is going to bother him. He looks so disgruntled right now. Very
Get to the segment.
He looks very concerned. So anyway, there's a tweet that's been going around. This suddenly went viral for whatever reason. It only came up, apparently it got tweeted out about a year ago, but people just started picking up on it now, where somebody, I don't even know who it was just some random person named Britt something or other, I don't know, posted I guess they started playing Darkness on the Edge of Town by Bruce Springsteen on their turntable at the wrong speed, and started playing it, and suddenly started to realize that, hey, if you play this, Bruce Springsteen sounds remarkably like Stevie Nicks. And at first I was like, no, there's no way that, and then I was like, well, it kind of does actually.
What speed are you playing this?
Now this is 40. This is a 45 that this person was playing it at, and which led me to the question of, I started thinking to myself, well, here on SNS, I believe it's up to us as research people to test this. So I went out. I through the help of Jared Barbetta, obtained a vinyl copy of the Born in the USA record, and then I thought, well, let's listen to the type of song that Stevie Nicks probably would have sang. A song like maybe something like "I'm on Fire" or something. So I checked it out, and sure enough, I mean, obviously it's going to be a little faster, but then once it kicks in, it's remarkable that basically just the chipmunk effect on Bruce Springsteen ends up just turning him into Stevie Nicks. And I don't know how this happens, but I love it.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone?
Holy.
Right?
Holy
Now,
cow.
if you take Stevie Nicks and take it down...
That was going to be the second part of my... It's amazing. It was going to be the second part of my experiment, and Jared was good enough to bring in the Rumors record for me. The only problem with that, I realized as I was queuing this thing up, is that I'm a moron. And
you can't go below 33.
I didn't realize that I should have asked specifically for a 45 if he happened to have it.
Yes.
Because then we could have taken the 45 down to 33 and a third. Maybe next semester we'll check that out. That might be the next step that we need to go in this direction.
Definitely.
Like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley.
It's perfect.
It's amazing.
Like with the trembling and everything?
With the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head, and you...
Oh, man.
I almost want to have this play out.
Right. I kind of like this.
I'm actually requesting this.
And I'm in here, and I'm queuing up this segment, and Jared's like, that sounds like it's too high, sir. And I was like, I know. He's like, do you know what you're doing? I'm like, yes, I do. Are you doing it on purpose? Yes. And then he was like, you're a jackass. I'm like, why? Why?
Perfect.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And on top of that, I now just want Stevie Nicks to record "I'm on Fire" at some point in her life.
We don't need it. We have it here.
We got it right here. I maybe in the tempo that the song is supposed to be, but holy God, I think maybe throughout the night I might try out a couple of more tracks on this album and see how they sound. Maybe I'll try some of the faster ones, see if those sound like just Stevie Nicks singing a more upbeat type of tune. But holy crap, I thought maybe it was just some sort of so somebody
silly things.
Yeah, somebody sort of messing around with something on Twitter, and I was like, how could it actually sound remarkably like it? And then I just here in the studio was the first time I had actually gotten a chance to do it, and I was like, well, holy God, this is coming out exactly like I wanted to. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent.
Mikey D made a brief appearance up here and then took off just as quickly.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Mikey D wasn't up here at all.
No, he wasn't.
We haven't seen him.
In spirit only.
Mikey who?
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy? What's going on?
I don't know.
So 508-531-1303. This is the last show of the semester here, so if you want to call us and talk to us, well, this is your last chance to do it, at least until September, so you might want to get on that. And coming up in about, I usually don't tout things this far ahead, but coming up in probably about an hour or so, we got something special for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
It's a play on a segment that we usually do later on in the program, and we're just going to do it here, and it's just going to be a little different than we normally do, and it's going to be great, and everybody's going to love it. So come back in an hour for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to play any Skinner tonight by any chance? Is that on your list?
I can find out for you. Give me a second. Let me take a look. I feel like we don't go a night without playing Skinner. Well, except for tonight, because I don't see any Skinnerd on my list. So if there's anything you'd like me to get on for Skinnerd, I can do that.
Yeah, put something nice on for a friend of mine, Donna, that I work with. She's a big Skinnerd fan.
Oh, yeah,
And she
absolutely.
listens, so-
I appreciate that. Thank you, Donna. And anything, nothing in particular?
Yeah, your choice, sir.
Nice.
Yes.
I got carte blanche.
Exactly.
I love it.
And I did see a 3-hour documentary on Skinnerd the other night, which was quite.
Now, did it? Now with Skinnerd, it's always interesting to find out what era they're going to focus on, because for me,
they took this back to their high school days.
Okay, but that's the direction I want to go in, because I feel like for me, Skinnerd post 77, I'm not too interested.
Well,
in.
it only went up to the crash, and then it didn't go any further.
Good.
So
that
was
sounds like
perfect for
that's.
me.
Is that on Netflix or anything? Or?
No, it was on Axis.
Axis.
Yes.
Oh, that's that channel you've told me about a couple of times.
Yes. And then
I gotta check that out. I think I did find out that we actually do get that. That's that one you said just popped up randomly at some point. And I think we did check it out, and it turns out that we did have it. So I'm going to have to go and see if I can find that.
it's worth looking every now and again, because they do show some interesting things.
3 hours, huh?
3 hours. And then right after it finished, if I'd have been awake enough to stay awake, because it was on from 9 till midnight.
Okay.
But then they were going to show an hour-and-a-half concert after that off Skinnerd.
Gotcha.
Which I couldn't stay up for. But
yeah, and I mean that's basically what I'm saying, is that's the era that I really want to focus on, because I mean I understand and good on them for trucking on throughout the years after the tragic thing that happened, obviously, and continuing. But to me, it's just without Ronnie Van Zant and those guys, that's the thing, is I feel like that. I mean that's not the Skinnerd I know.
No,
I hear things from like the Vicious Psycho record, which we've actually played a couple of tracks off that album here on the program before, and I mean okay, but to me it's not Lynyrd Skynyrd.
No.
And I'm just not too keen on that.
One big thing that Ronnie Van Zant, I mean, he was a bit of a dictator when it came to the group. I mean, other people mentioned the fact that they had the guitar solos were choreographed. I mean, they played the same damn notes every single time they played.
Right.
It wasn't just like it was a free-form solo. But he was mainly influenced by Free.
Oh, okay.
He saw Free play at one point and thought, this is the way I want to go, and I want to sing like that guy. That's what spurred him on.
I want to sound like that.
Yeah.
I want to sound like Trent Reznor. Oh, okay. I sound nothing like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Another big classic rock block coming up. Ted Nugent on deck.
Hitting the bars or hitting the books. We'll make your night rock with Rob Hicks and Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack on 91.5 WBIM.
Genesis is on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, Police before that. Lynyrd Skynyrd, Ted Nugent on that block. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta. Steve Rimmer, it's coming up on 8:35. And
yes, it is.
Steve, you're an outdoorsman as far as gardening is concerned. You like to garden if you have the time to do it.
Yeah, I used to.
Were you aware of the fact that the first Saturday in May is considered World Naked National Gardening Day?
No, I'm not. I wish I knew that. I would have been out there.
Yes, it's so apparently this is a thing, because at first I was like, well, somebody's just posting something ridiculous. So I think I misspoke. I think I said it was national. It's actually World Naked Gardening Day.
Nice.
The entire world. If you feel like Googling World Naked Gardening Day,
no,
and clicking on images,
no.
Well, that's up to you. And I don't necessarily advise that you do it, but I can't stop you either.
Don't do it.
That's fun. I like that idea.
Apparently, from what Jared was telling us off the air, there may have been someone getting ready for World Naked Gardening Day here in the campus center. Yeah. Please, just a little public service announcement before we move on with the next bit. If for whatever reason you feel like you need to shave your parts, can you please, number one, not do it here in the campus center? And if you do it here in the campus center, can you please clean your pubes up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get rid of that. Nobody needs to see it.
I don't want to see it.
It does not need to happen.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Stop it. So
yeah.
That's a public service announcement for your friends here at 91.5 WBIM.
So talking of that, have you been following this new little thing between Sinead O'Connor and Arsenio Hall?
No, because I don't care about either of them. So every time I see both of their names pop up in a headline, I'm like, next.
I just like her latest comment. She goes, Arsenio, which I think is kind of funny.
That's what it's come down to.
She ends the message with, and I do not like Arsenio Hall. He can suck my D. That was good. That was good.
Almost.
I like it.
And I'm thinking, really? Okay, there's something about Sinead that we didn't know.
I have a feeling that Sinead O'Connor may be one of those people who falls into the conversation that we had about China a couple of weeks back, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are gross, Jared and I had a conversation on the way back from the program last week that I feel like sort of strengthened our bond as friends, because I didn't realize that we had so much in common as far as our opinions on some things. And I'm going to ask you about this because and I feel like your answer may be different because you are a father. And you're also older than both of us, so perhaps the maturity level is a little bit higher. Just by
maybe not
by a tad, but we don't know. That's up for debate. But how good are you at handling vomiting?
Oh,
Whether it be yourself or, more specifically to the conversation that Jared and I were having, other people.
no, not very good.
Okay, good. So you don't have the...
No,
So
I'm liable to join them.
I don't want to say maternal instinct, but you don't have sort of that comforting instinct that you're going to stick by the person, hold their hair back, everything's going to be fine, and it doesn't bother you in the least. You just want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So Jared and I were talking about it coming back from the show last week, and I don't remember how we got on this topic, but it was interesting because I thought that I was one of the few people who felt like that. Number one, I'm going to... jinxing myself here, but I'm on a streak where I don't think I've vomited in like 20 years, at least.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty good, but the thing is, I'm also doing pretty good because I avoid it like the goddamn plague. Like basically, if there's anything I can possibly do. You hear people be like, I just want to get sick and get it over with. Nope.
No way.
Nope.
No.
If I'm going to be sick for 2 days, but I can avoid doing that, I'm going to avoid doing that. Thank you very much.
Yep.
That's not happening. And
Although I have been in that position where afterwards it was better.
well, yes, I understand that on the other side of it, it's going to be better, but the actual act of it, for some reason, I dread it so much that I go at all costs, I will avoid doing it. And Jared was asking me basically, like, if you had your choice between basically being stuck just sitting on the can for like 7 hours or doing that, which would you choose? And I was like, I'd be sitting on the can.
I'd take a few books in with me.
I'd much rather it come out of that end than the other one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Give me some Gatorade and a couple of books.
Yeah.
I'll sit there all day.
All day.
I don't
Take
care.
this thing in with me. I'll be good.
There you go.
And then obviously the conversation shifted to, well, how are you with another person, be it no matter who it is, but even if it's just a significant other or whatever, how great are you? And Jared was like, nope, I just get out of there. Didn't you say you made someone like sleep in a guest room or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or get a hotel or something
Yep.
so that it's something extreme.
It was a hotel.
And oh my God,
I paid for it.
I don't. And
with siblings, with my daughter, when she was young, there were moments.
Right.
You had to be there with her at that point in time. It wasn't like I liked it.
Sure.
Though,
and it doesn't, the same thing with my wife. My wife has gotten ill at times, and I sort of have to be there. And, because I'm a husband, I'm not thrilled to be there, and I basically just kind of want to be anywhere but there. But that's sort of my job, and I'm just there, and the whole thing. And so I guess when it comes down to it, I guess if I have to deal with it, I'll deal with it. But I will, basically go to the ends of the earth to try to maintain situations where I don't have to be near it.
Yes.
Pets do not count. Because if pets counted, we would have no pets.
No, exactly.
Just for whatever reason, cats and dogs barf all the time.
Oh God, every other day.
And that doesn't even bother. I don't even care. That doesn't bother me. I'm talking about human beings and not wanting to be around it with the sounds of. I'm good.
Cat vomit's just like their food. It's not. You know what I mean?
Right, or it's like water. It's like sudsy water. Like I can handle that. Or something that looks like food. A person said, no, not happening. No.
I'll leave. I will leave.
So, and at the same time, I think part of this came up because we were talking about the fact that Jared was very sick a couple of weeks ago, and I was basically like, do you want, are you one of those people who would want somebody with you? And he was like, it's sort of in between. I can see myself at times sort of being like a kind of like a whiny little baby about it, and then at other times just wanting to be left alone. And my whole thing is if I'm ill in that fashion, I do not want anybody around me so I feel like I'm at least not being hypocritical about the thing. I don't want anybody around me. I don't want to be around anybody else.
No,
like just that kind of thing should just happen just completely independently by yourself, alone. That's it. Just on an island. Just go in there. Do what you got to do. Turn a whole bunch of loud ambient noise up so I don't have to hear it, and then get on with your life.
So, talking about Solo, what do you think about the new Han Solo? Are you okay with that actor?
I haven't really seen a good photo of him.
I haven't seen much about... Who is it?
I can't remember.
Someone that's not named.
A blurb about it.
Because there's a guy out there who does a remarkable Han Solo impression, and he was in... he's been all over YouTube, as a matter of fact, and he was in that movie Age of Adeline, and he played a young Harrison Ford in that. And I feel like any movie where they want to have a young Han Solo, basically, I think they should just pick that guy.
Yep.
But I don't know if it's that guy because I haven't seen that much about it, so I'm gonna have to Google this deal.
Yeah, Google it and see what you
see who's coming up. What do you think? Have you seen?
I haven't seen a good photo of him, but I feel like they should have, like, Harrison Ford was 30 when he did that role, and I feel like they should have picked a 30-year-old, not some 19-looking-year-old. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I get you. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying, will get you 10 years in the attic. I don't know why Whitey Bulger just sounded like Mikey D. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know whether that's necessary. Come back in about half hour or so, probably around the 9:05 break that we do. We got a bit that we're going to do, and it's a bit that we normally do later on in the program, but we're going to do it earlier, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to focus on us.
Yes,
that's really what we're about, is focusing on us. But it's going to be fantastic, season finale type stuff. You're not going to want to miss it. Come on back for that 9:05.
There you go.
And another big block of classic rock coming up right now, so give us a call. 508-531-1303. Listen to SNS on BIM.
Saturday nights with Rob Hicks. He's like Wolfman Jack. Without the beard, money, or timeless popularity.
Coincidence? I think not.
Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack on 91.5 WBIM.
That's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack, Bad Company wrapping up a block of classic rock. Joe Walsh was before that. Heard from Eric Clapton, and a double shot of Led Zeppelin on the way, or a double shot of Robert Plant, I should say. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and about 9:05. Hello. Heading into our last 2 hours of the semester, and that's
sad.
Pretty unbelievable and sad. And but it's always a great time, so give us a call. 508-531-1303. We got two more hours.
Don't ask us for Justin Timberlake.
I just want to say, I enjoy.
I was going to kind of skate past that, but continue, Jared.
I enjoy Justin Timberlake. He is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine.
I am going to throw this out there that he is actually depending on the song, he is a guilty pleasure of mine as well.
Oh, I'd agree.
It's just not part of the show.
All of his albums have been spot on. Like maybe except with the exception of the first one, not all the writing was there. There are a couple of songs, but going forward from sexy love sounds or whatever, that futuristic love sounds, and going forward, right?
A conversation I didn't think we'd have on the show, but continue.
No, but
we're going forward. Those albums have been top notch.
Top notch. Fantastic. And I know this new song that he has out is like specifically for a soundtrack, but it doesn't matter. It's phenomenal.
Oh, good.
I'm just saying.
We don't play it.
I'm a very big fan of his music.
Great. It sounds like you celebrate his entire catalog, and for that I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
However,
yeah, so we don't play it on the show. But give us a call for anything that's classic rock related. 508-531-1303. Again, you can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack, and don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels. We're the first thing that's going to come up, and hours and hours and hours and hours of entertainment in the form of old shows are all posted up there, old and new and recent and everything in between. And it'll keep you company during the summer, during their 4 long months when we're not going to be here. And that's just how you're going to have to do it. I'm sorry, you're going to have to get by somehow.
SNS presents the FCC Violation of the Week.
So we normally hold off on this until 10:50, but we figured we'd do this a little bit earlier because, we don't really have an FCC violation of the week per se. We have a violation of the past. So I don't know if anybody of you realize this, but every once in a while, once in a great while, we here on the Saturday Night Soundtrack are no more perfect than anybody else here on this radio station. Every once in a while, there's a little bit of a slip-up. Some things come out that shouldn't come out.
Yes, the effing is.
It's just part of life. It's just how things go. So we thought, since we spend every other week sort of picking apart other shows, and again, we never mention the names of the shows or the other DJs, but we always, read a bleeped version of the violations on the air because, we think that's hilarious, and we're never going to stop that. And we figured that since we're always throwing stones, maybe we should take a look back at some of the violations that we have caused.
Jared's caused, yes.
Here on the here on the Saturday Night Soundtrack. So we put a little thing together for you, and we hope you enjoy it. This is the SNS FCC violations of, well, probably the past year and a half or so.
Oh, did I really just say that?
I don't want to hear that shit. Smells.
Then you can't.
He's a. Oh, I can put it in the wrong place.
What a leave the pussy alone. Stop. I hate when you wake up with the pussy in your face.
Oh, you can say pissed.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's why we don't say words like oh, shit. I'd cover the album with you can say shit.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she leaves mine alone.
We don't need these people messing it up.
Saying utter
Don't do that.
I think you can say bitch.
And that is the show.
That's our show.
That's our show.
Come here, bitch. There's
Yeah.
BF&T.
I like that my voice wasn't on there as often as yours.
That was the British version of SNS FCC violations, and well, we thank you, and well, we'll try not never.
And sir, I must say, well done.
Thank you. So I gave every time I'm putting together some sort of a montage or anything like that, I always give these guys the opportunity, and I'm like, do you want to hear it before the program?
I'm glad I didn't.
Or do you want to hear it? And Steve originally voted for hearing it ahead of time. Jared said he wanted to wait, so I threw it up on our YouTube channel for a couple of days and said, well, here it is. Here's a link to it if you decide you want to listen to it. And Steve ultimately decided against it. And just wanted to hear it tonight.
This is the best way to go.
And so we're no better than anybody else. And every once in a while, just something comes out that just shouldn't come out
by mistake.
It seems like it happens more often on the other side of the glass. But
I noticed your voice a couple of times.
My voice was a couple of times, but notice that the word that I used was not necessarily as offensive as some of the words that came from the other side, from the British accent from the other room.
I didn't even know about the T word until recently.
You know, we've never said the C word on here.
No, we haven't yet.
You mean court?
What?
Yes. That's not a challenge, by the way. I'm just making an observation. Jesus, I have to point out that that's not something that I'm just not inviting. That I'm just saying as a passive spectator that just has not happened yet.
Yeah.
508-531-1303. Call us up and swear at us. Well, don't do that. Just ask for a
No, you can swear at us because Jared will be the one picking up the phone.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Jared comes in here and picks up the phone and has to turn people down when they ask for things that we don't play, and I don't have to do all that dirty work. That's fine by me. And you can swear at him all you want. Then that's the case.
Yes.
Mikey
there
D
for the swearing.
Mikey D's not. Part of when I was putting this whole thing together, one of my other ideas was that I was potentially going to put together a Mikey D montage, but F that because I realized that we may never see the dude again.
No.
So that being
Which is a good thing.
That being the case, I decided that it might not be worth putting in the effort.
Nope.
I noticed something though, right? So I was thinking about this.
Go.
And I know it stopped. It stopped. You don't have to come all the way in. Oh, there we go. I noticed the fact that. Did you notice that he seemed to have visited other programs and bestowed gifts upon other people?
Exactly.
That he did not. I feel like less time was spent with us, and fewer gifts were bestowed upon us. And by fewer,
But he still keeps kind of enticing us with the,
Right, and by fewer, I mean no gifts whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
He keeps enticing us, but I mean, what's the deal with that? My wife keeps enticing me with a new TV. That hasn't happened yet either. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what's the deal with that? It doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to cause anything, to happen, but I don't know. Anyway, Jared's doing some more of the dirty work again, so for that I thank him.
He's writing stuff down, so it must be a decent request.
So we got some AC/DC that's going to be coming up on deck, and so tonight's a show that's going to really here's my question. Now it's happening in Lisbon, right? So has it already
happened?
Has it already happened because of the whole time difference?
Oh God, yes,
okay.
Absolutely. They're 6 hours ahead of us.
And I saw I saw some of the audio was. I kind of wanted to potentially play some of the audio, but the audio is
so
sort
bad.
of it's really bad.
What were they calling that though? They were calling it like a fam.
It was like
it was like a.
Somebody was taking it with their cell phone or something like that from the audience. Sometimes those can come out kind of okay, depending on where the person is, and sometimes they come out sounding like crap. And this one sounded like crap, so I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to replay it on the show.
No, the Troubadour.
But the
sound was awful too. So
yeah, and the thing of it was that they were playing the clip that I heard. They were playing Thunderstruck, and you and I were talking about it a little bit out in the hallway there when we were saying, hearing Axl Rose sing that song is one of those things where it's like, here is what I was saying originally when they chose Axl Rose for the program for the tour, is that on paper his voice seems to match their songs perfectly.
Yes.
But you bring in the whole personality conflicts and everything, and then it's like those are a whole bunch of variables where you just have to see. But on paper, I like the way his voice sounds singing the songs. I'd like to hear more. But so far, it's not necessarily the train wreck I thought it might sound like.
It's not going to be.
It's not going to be.
Vocal-wise, it's not going to be a train wreck. It's going to be a train wreck if he starts putting off shows and canceling shows and all that other junk.
So I got a piece of paper here.
Obviously.
Yeah.
He's got your piece of paper.
Yeah, I got your piece of paper.
Right. I need that back, by the way.
I'm going to give it to you. Give it to you. Just late-breaking information.
Yeah.
I'm gonna botch this up. I got a phone. The people that requested the Justin Timberlake song,
sure,
liked us to stop talking about them.
You were kind of the one who brought it up, so
yeah, I know. I don't care.
Out there.
I mean, she's got a sweet voice.
All right, relax. This is not in keeping with the request.
No,
continue.
So anyway, so they requested that we give some shout outs to them.
Okay.
Seeing how we've liberally used them as fodder.
I mean, when you call in a radio program, that's pretty much what you're putting yourself up to, especially this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's life.
I mean, I don't think they know that we heckle. We heckle.
Absolutely.
We heckle everybody.
We will friend request you and all that other stuff. We'll find you.
We won't,
anyway,
by the way.
So let's see. The first one here I got is Emma Manning, who is the homecoming queen of.
On campus then, eh?
Yeah, on campus.
Nice.
Yeah. She's also Bridgewater's best. She's won that award. That is distinction.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I don't know. Just Bridgewater's best is what she says.
You've got to be best at something.
I'm supposing that she's best at calling a classic rock show for
Justin Timberlake.
For Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. The other one, Breeling O'Leary. She is.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, if he is botching any of this up, please let us know.
Yeah. Oh, she says she's going to probably call back. Maybe.
Okay, good.
Jeez. She is Bridgewater's badass girl.
So we got the best and the badass together.
Yeah, we got the best and the baddest.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Are these titles
the baddest girl in Bridgewater?
These are starting to become sounding like titles they're bestowing upon themselves, and that has not been awarded to them in any formal.
Well, I suggested that, and then she says that Emma it can be vouched for. You can look her up on the websites. And which sounds kind of weird.
We have our phones in hand.
which sounds kind of weird that you can look up a girl on a website if you. But anyway,
can you do that? Can you look up girls on the website?
Yeah, you can look up girls up on the internet.
Guys, sirs.
I did not know that.
So anyway, so she says that information can be vouched for. That's good.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So that's.
Did they have another request, or no, that was it?
They said play something good. Not really.
Well, we play something.
I put that in there to make it seem like we're not beating them up so much.
So basically, the rest of an hour and 40 minutes is going to be directed directly to you. So congratulations.
Well, there you go. We're going to dedicate the rest of the show to you.
There you go.
So that way you could.
Did you try one of those chocolate thingies yet?
I haven't yet. I got to get off the air and do that now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Well,
508-531-1303. Give us a call. Anything you want to hear. Another big block of classic rock coming up. Headed off with AC/DC.
Stay connected with these guys. Like the Saturday Night Soundtrack on Facebook. Follow SN Soundtrack on Twitter. And subscribe to the Saturday Night Soundtrack channel on YouTube. Now you can get as much of Rob, Jared, and Steve as you want. Anytime, anywhere. And who doesn't want that? SNS on BIM.
That's Motley Crue at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Judas Priest before that. Steely Dan, Rolling Stones, and AC/DC all in that block. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. And hello. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. We can get anything on that you want. It's classic rock. It's until 11 o'clock, and then we're done for the semester, and then 4 long months in the wilderness of not doing this, which I'm already not looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't think my wife is either.
Nor mine, sir, nor mine. Here's a situation that, and I think this is something that probably, Steve, you are probably more actively or would be able to actively comment on this more than Jared. But have you ever become friends with somebody on Facebook that's you were friends a long time ago? So this happened to me this past week, right? I got a friend request from somebody that I was friends with years and years ago. I was friends with them probably when I was in, when I was first starting college, and it wasn't from here. It was just somebody that I knew just, in my various walks of life. And we had lost touch over time, like you normally do, and I've wondered, here and there, what's become of him, but I got to the point where I couldn't even remember his last name, so it wasn't like I could ever look him up. And I got a friend request from him just this past week, and I saw the name, and I was trying to remember, it took me a minute to recognize the name, and I was like, oh, that guy, that's great. I'll become friends with him, and maybe we can touch base and catch up and all this other kind of thing. There's a profound disappointment that comes about when you come to realize that somebody you were friends with years ago, as you scroll through their Facebook page, which is the very first thing you do once you become new friends with somebody.
That's true.
And you suddenly realize that they have become a complete conservative right-wing nutbag.
Oh, yes, that's happened twice.
Oh, my God. And I mean... It's the United States of America. Everybody has a right to their political opinions.
Mine wasn't.
But, well, in this particular case, it's the United States of America. Everybody has a right to their political opinions. But the thing is, as you go through, and if that's the only thing that somebody is posting about, that is a huge red flag.
Oh, yeah.
When you can tell that every one of their posts is just like sharing pictures from like some Facebook page called Crushing Libs, and like sharing Donald Trump's posts and posting statuses about why Donald Trump is great. And
yeah, I don't get so much about the Trump, but I got a couple of friends from when I lived in England, and you're going back close to 30 years now, and oh my God, have they changed since we left? Oh.
Yeah, and I I think, and it's gotten to the point where I try to think back to my my friendship with this person, and I'm trying to remember at the time. I'm like, did he have these leanings at the time? And, like, all I ever remember is hanging out with them and listening to Led Zeppelin and just, like, having a blast, you know what I mean? Like, just hanging out and having a good time and talking about whatever was going on in our lives at that point. And there was nothing more heavy or theatrical or political or anything like that. And I try to think back to his attitudes about things and if they were so... And the thing is, I mean, I guess... An online presence is, if that's the only thing you have from someone, I mean, that's a little bit difficult to go on because, I obviously I haven't talked to the guy in years. I haven't talked to him in person or seen him in person for years. Don't know anything about how he actually acts or behaves. But when you're scrolling through someone's page and 100% of their postings or their likes or their shares are all these right-wing conservative ultra, to the right of Attila the Hun type things, and it's like, well, you might want to calm down just a little bit. How about you relax? How about you relax? So it's one of those things where immediately after becoming friends with him, 2 days later, I was like, do I want to not become friends with him anymore?
I know.
Is he going to notice this? And then it's like, well, no.
Do you care?
I'll ride this wave out and see how it goes. Yeah. But he is much more of a, and I'm sure he's not listening to this program, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But he's just much more of a nutbag than I ever realized that he possibly could conceivably be. And I probably within 48 hours regretted accepting the friend request, but I didn't know that was going to happen. And it's the most disappointing thing when you think to yourself, oh, here's an old friend that I can catch up with, and you're like, oh, you're Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And it's not even just and like I said, I'm not even a political person. I wouldn't identify myself as a Democrat any more than I would definitely not identify myself as a Republican. But at the same time, it's like, Jesus, you might want to post about some different things, or maybe just relax just a tad.
Yep.
Might help.
Talking about
this is two things. First reason why I'm proud to be a Freemason, because we don't talk about that business. And the second thing is why I'm not on Facebook anymore, because I don't want to know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
I want to remain, like, say, for example, like, you had changed your political reasons or whatever, and you started supporting somebody I wasn't a fan of.
Sure.
Right? And then, like, oh, now I have to know that Rob likes so-and-so.
Right.
Great. That's just wonderful. And now we can't be friends.
I mean, sometimes I think it's bad enough when you just know that, the type of, musical or movie taste that some people have, and you're like, wow, I still got to be friends with this person, even though they think that Goodfellas was a piece of crap. You know what I mean? Like, you got to deal with that. Which, by the
Jared
way,
likes Justin Timberlake?
Well, no, I already
doing?
I already
just
said.
unfriended you for that one.
I can't be unfriended. I'm not there anymore.
I mean, you technically are. You do show up as a friend.
Well, that's because they won't allow you to delete the damn thing. You have to go. I tried deleting it twice, and then all the hoops you got to jump through to delete it. I was like, it's not worth it. So I changed my password to something I don't know.
You could.
I changed. I looked at. I think what I was doing was I was in my kitchen or something, and I found some food product, and I was like, let's see what the ingredients are. And then I picked the one with the longest
monotriglyceride.
Yeah, some bull like that. I'm like, whatever. That's the password. So now, if I go on there and try to if I need to go on there and I need to. Yeah,
that might actually be the Twitter password for the program because I don't remember what that is. I've tried a couple of different things. If I ever get locked out of I can access it now with my phone, fine. If I ever get locked out of my phone, I'm screwed because I have absolutely no idea what it is. Speaking of Twitter and speaking of Facebook, if you are using the social medias that Jared is clearly not, you can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. If you're listening to the show, then I strongly urge that you do so. Because we're going to be posting some things over the summer, a couple of best ofs. If you're new to the program, you can catch up on it. If you've been with the program for a while, then you can find out some trivia about myself and Jared and Steve and all that. And we'll give you some updates and insights as to when we're going to be starting back up in September, as soon as we know. Pass the information along, and it's going to be useful for all of that good stuff. Plus the fact that you like all these random things probably anyway on Facebook, so why not like us too?
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're probably liking something like, Jan took off the pickle jar lid and then did this, and it was amazing.
God, I hate those freaking things.
That's another reason. That's another reason why I jumped off. After that. Oh my God, Billy took a coin out of his pocket and put it in his tie, and it did this. Who cares?
She peeled some garlic. The next thing that happened, speechless. The next thing that happened is I just keep scrolling past that crap because who has time for that?
Yeah, I don't need it.
Not today.
Get off.
Get off my feed.
Yeah.
508-531-1303. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. Another big block of classic rock coming up. Kick it off with Guns N' Roses.
If your bed is in a small town and that's good enough for you, you're one of the only listeners who can hear us on an actual radio.
Scrolling through the radio and found you guys, man. Awesome.
Congratulations. Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. And, of course, I was a Steve Miller band. Steve Miller, who is the man that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people are still asking this question about.
You get your period?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's. But now he's got Hall of Fame next to his name, and he can gripe and complain about it all he wants.
Yeah, you know what? I actually managed to catch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this past week. Finally.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, on TV, and I saw his performance.
It was on HBO, right?
I don't know what I caught it on. It was
you don't
weird.
get HBO.
No,
so it
I
must have been someplace else.
I think it was on the Access channel. That
Oh,
I
okay.
keep talking about. But
This
anyway,
Access channel. I got to check this out. Apparently, they got everything on there.
you know, they were saying how blistering a set Cheap Trick did, etc., etc., and they were the best thing. No, I think Steve Miller's performance was the best thing of
Was
the
it
show
really?
I saw. Yeah,
And
I'm wondering if it's maybe because he didn't have his band with him. He had a bunch of session guys.
And
playing the back.
that's a big thing coming from Steve Rimmer, who
Oh, yeah.
has been on record as saying that Steve Miller's performances recently of late have been very.
Well, this is why I'm wondering: is it because he didn't have his Steve Miller band with him because
Right.
he didn't want to pay $10,000
per guy.
to get each one in?
very understandable
But
position
then,
to be in.
you know, they said that the end bit where they all come on stage and do a jam on something. And
Sure.
It was a marvelous. No, it was still the same old crap that happens every year when you get a bunch of big-headed musicians on the same stage trying to play the same damn crappy old songs.
Yeah, I had heard that from someplace else too. Or there were a couple of different places where they had said, "Oh, it was going to be, it was actually great. It was much better than it had been before," and kind of all this stuff. And no, you're not buying this.
Nope, no, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, let's do.
Not unless you want to hear 15 guitars trying to play the same bloody riff at the same time, but in different time signatures.
Yeah, no, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Let's do a last edition of Yay or Nay for the semester.
Sure.
This is another one. This is not a track that's going to be available anywhere, but this is another one of those. Of course, since January, obviously, there have been numerous David Bowie tributes surfacing, whether they be in recorded form or just in concert. Here's another one that just came online. I think this was one, I think I saw that this was recorded in March, like March 25th or something like that. This is about to become Heroes, and another artist rendition of another David Bowie tribute, of course.
On the song, I saw the David Byrne.
Oh, did you?
Tribute. That was phenomenal. He did Fame.
I wish I could swim like the dolphins can swim.
And I forget who this is.
Maybe nothing will keep us together, but together.
Before I tell you who it is, do you like it or do you not?
I don't like the way he changed it, really. No.
No?
No, I think there's a meter to this song that you've got to kind of stick to, and he didn't.
That's Prince.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, very. Congratulate you on your consistency, sir.
Yes. I was going to say he sounds like that old Prince, but... and he really didn't cover it for all that much. Apparently, it was a concert that he gave again. It was in late March 25th or something like that. And here's the thing, though: if you're doing a tribute to somebody and you're covering one of their songs, doesn't it behold you to cover it the way the singer wrote it?
I mean, that's the thing, is that
otherwise, you're just saying, "Well, I don't like the way this guy did this thing, so I'm going to do it differently." That's not a bloody tribute.
No,
that's
you know what?
disgusting.
See, I disagree with you. As someone who's been in, as someone who's been in a band, as someone who's been in a band, and someone who
like me.
Yeah, I don't care. You dropped out. As someone who's been in a band, who's someone who's consistently covered people, my feeling is like if you're gonna cover somebody, do it different.
No. If you're covering somebody, do it differently. But if you're doing it as a tribute to that person, you do it the way the person wrote it.
As a tribute.
That's what I said.
Well, I don't know if he's doing it as a tribute or I would ask him, but he's dead.
I mean, he
was a tribute.
He basically incorporated a few stanzas of Heroes into one of his own songs.
Exactly.
It wasn't like he went out and did Heroes from front to back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he went out and did any of his other songs that I know of from front to back. He just sort of snuck a little bit of Heroes into one of his own songs, and I can't even tell you what that is.
He's on
I can't
coke.
tell you what that song is because I don't know any Prince songs if I fell over them. So
he's on coke, and I'm not talking about the original classic Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's the Coke I'm talking about.
Give us a call, 508-531-1303, if there's anything you want to hear. We got a last classic rock block of the semester coming up.
Boo.
So
I wish I had like 4 hours on the radio.
That would be fantastic.
Now, the people listening tonight from this campus, this will be the last chance they get to hear us.
That's basically it, and I was going to mention that this is the radio show that Homecoming Queens call.
I think I just heard a bunch of people cheering. The whole campus.
Bob or the elitists are not going to be on for 4 months.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I wish I was here from like 10 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Or even 10 o'clock, 10 to 11.
Or 11 to 11, which is basically, yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking at you, person that's not listening.
Or even 5 to 11. That'd be a great spot.
That'd be fantastic.
It would be great if it was worth my damn drive to come all the way up here and just sit in the parking lot all damn night. Because, I'm not happy with you. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you.
And you're probably not happy with anybody who apologizes for these people either.
So, if you're in your mom's basement and you're listening to this, F you.
Or if you're just sitting very creepily over in a corner somewhere in some building.
Wish I'd seen that.
F you too.
Yeah.
It was very disturbing, and I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So,
don't come back next year. You're not welcome.
Oh my God. This might be the last episode ever of the Saturday Night Soundtrack, and if it is, it's been a pleasure serving you with classic rock.
The Homecoming Queen likes us.
Here we go. She doesn't. I don't even think she does, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think she's even listening anymore.
No, she's not even listening. She told us to stop talking about them.
Yeah.
And then basically, because she called up and requested a song that we could not play, then she called up again to tell us to stop talking about them, and then we haven't heard from her since.
No.
So I'm not banking on that one, to be completely honest with you.
Neither am I.
That was a fluke.
It's over.
Yeah, done.
I'm good with
Let's not talk about it. She might as well be Nader Greg. You know what I mean?
Naked? What?
No. No, Nate or Greg.
Oh,
sir.
yes, sorry.
Some of the other jabronis that don't call us anymore either.
Naked Dread.
And with that, last classic rock block coming up. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. You're listening to SNS on BIM.
Saturday nights and classic rock. They just go together like bacon and hot fudge sundaes.
Whatever.
Just trust us on this, okay? Bacon and hot fudge sundaes. Yum. The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
That's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack about ready to wrap it up for the last time this semester. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. And, well, it's been a fun few months.
Yes, it has.
Kicked everything off late January, and I think we had a pretty strong season this year. And look forward to coming back in September. Again, not quite sure exactly what's going on in September. Whole schedule thing up in the air and all that. But
We might have T-shirts.
We are going to figure out a way. I basically told Steve and Jared that, worst comes to worst, we're just going to airheads this deal. And as long as my name's still on the list, I'm going to go down to the front desk and get the key. They don't know if the scheduling meeting has been set up or not, but I know the building starting on Labor Day weekend, or at least I know this from last year, is already up and running. So as long as they're going to be open until 11 o'clock, we can come in here and start doing some shows until they get the whole thing straightened out.
Absolutely. I mean, nobody else is going to do that.
Right. I see no reason not to do it. And, I'm still on the list as an alum, so that's fine. And, after 4 months of listening to The Tick, I figure that people are probably going to want to hear anything else other than that. All of our...
It's called a tick.
Yeah. All of our...
I pulled those off my accounts.
All of our faithful listeners are going to want to see us back. Homecoming Queens and whatnot, and Nate and Greg, and I know they're all out there still listening. People who call up and request things that we don't play, I'm sure they're listening too, and they're going to be sad that we're going to be gone for the entire summer. So once again, I'm going to mention that remember to like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and remember to follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. If you search for us on YouTube, just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack and filter for channels. We're the first thing that comes up there. You can listen to all of our past broadcasts and try to make sure to subscribe to that channel as well, because that way you get updates anytime we upload something new and all that good stuff. And, that's about it. That's all the places you can find us, and that's probably where you want to keep in touch with us over the summer. You could send us messages and junk. I don't know if we're going to answer them.
No, we won't.
That would probably not.
No.
But we'll read them, though, and it's great that you send us a message, and thank you. Hopefully you...
We won't read your messages, though. What the hell,
No, I'm saying we'll read the messages. We just won't respond to them.
Why
That's
not?
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Maybe they'll ask us the question. Why don't you ever play Justin Timberlake?
They're going to ask us something stupid like that.
Or why don't you play?
Stupid like
Why don't you
that.
play some Johnny Cash?
Yeah, no, they're going to
The
ask
Arctic
us
Monkeys.
all ridiculous stuff. Stuff like that as well.
Or why don't you have like hour blocks of the Saturday night special edition?
Why can't we do what some of the other DJs do and just slightly go off their format a little, and we could just add rap to ours?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. That'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
If the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame can add NWA in there, I'm sure we can filter in. So, I mean, the closest we've ever
It's
came
all
on
rock and roll.
The closest we've ever made it on this program is playing Anthrax, and I regretted that, and we'll never do that again.
It was,
so.
well, no, I mean it was Anthrax with Public Enemy.
I understand that. It's never going to happen again, is my point.
Oh, we'll play some Anthrax.
Probably not.
No, yeah.
I almost brought some Anthrax tonight. Actually.
Did you really?
Yes.
None of you guys even...
Caught in a mosh pit's a great
you guys
song.
didn't actually bring anything in for me to play
No,
tonight.
because I don't care about you.
No, I filled my bag about a month ago, and I realised we'd already gone through everything.
No.
Rather than trying to choose something new every week,
Well,
it's
now
like
you-
one day where I
Right.
it full of stuff.
Well, now you got 4 months to think about it.
Yeah, I can buy stuff in that time.
I'm going to miss doing this over the... let's make some promises that we're never going to keep, ready?
Yes.
Okay, some
It's
Saturday...
like summer camp where
Yeah.
you like tell the girl, "I'll write you a letter."
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you'll never
No, we're
write
not
them.
going to write a letter.
Ever, because Tracy's much more
Just
attractive.
sort of like us reading your messages, we will, but we probably won't respond to them.
I think we should.
Also, we're going to miss. I think let's make the promises that we won't keep. Like, let's get together some Saturday night over the summer and do something. Let's go out and eat and go have some drinks and have some fun.
We can do that.
Yeah, let's go to Bull Moose, and then you'll like puss out on it.
Right, exactly. Well, don't don't make me go up there at some goddamn ridiculous time.
It actually wasn't that early because that's the
Like
time that we all agreed
6
on it
a.m.
beforehand.
Yeah, it
And then,
seemed.
It
just seemed more early and ridiculous once it came
Steve
down
is
to
older
it.
than you. I figured that he'd be the one that would puss out.
But plus the fact that he has to work a job that he has to get up for at 3:30 every Sunday morning, and I'm bitching because you made me get up at potentially we're going to make me get up at 6 on a Sunday or on a Saturday or something.
That was par for the course. You knew what was happening.
And a
You
Sunday,
knew what was happening.
and then on Sunday when I don't have to work. So my point is that I basically am a puss. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Rock and roll
I'm all right
doesn't
with
mean
it.
anything.
No. So let's make that promise that we can't keep. The other thing that I'm going to miss is carpooling with Jared every Saturday.
No, we'll still carpool.
I know that. We'll just drive around. I know Jared's going to miss things like coming to my house and standing on my porch watching my wife. So last week,
Watching your wife?
Yeah. So no. So last week, right? He comes to our house. And I didn't even realize that he was there because my wife and I are in the kitchen, bent over, looking at.
Excuse me.
And Jared's peering through the door, like he's just peering through the window. No, we're trying to figure out the dishwasher was making a god awful sound, and we were trying to figure out what was causing it. If it was something like rubbing up against the big, you know what I mean?
It might have been you guys bent over. It was rubbing up against it.
You know the big thing that sticks.
You're going nowhere with this one.
You're digging yourself a hole.
You know the cylindrical thing in the middle of the dishwasher?
Yes,
We're
okay.
trying to figure out if there were the maturity level to the end, the classiness level.
Yes.
I guess I just walked into the.
Yes, you did.
So we were trying to figure out if there were any dishes like rubbing up against that thing and making a horrible, horrible sound. And we're bent over looking at the thing, and all of a sudden I realize, she looks over at the door and goes, and smiles, and I'm like, oh, Jared must be there. Great. I wonder how long he's been standing there watching this whole process
rubbing up
go on.
against the dishwasher.
Yes.
Bent
I was
over.
like, I think I just came at an inappropriate moment.
Did it become really awkward before we turned around and actually realized you were there, or no?
Would have been great if you're you're in the process of squeezing out some dishwasher liquid, and then it just squeezed out in surprise when you saw me. Oh, jeez! And then I'm like, oh, that's
It
great.
was like a sitcom. So we're gonna.
Seinfeld or something?
I like Seinfeld.
I love Seinfeld.
Yeah, I did too.
We actually were having this conversation. Jared and I were. You're right.
Yep.
Jared and I were having this conversation about probably a month or two ago. That I was saying that I actually think I appreciate Seinfeld more now, 20 years after the fact, than I did back when it was on. I mean, I understand that when it was on before I was younger, but I mean, it wasn't like I was a kid. I was a teenager at the time, and high school and college and all that. And something about it just didn't really click. I mean, I thought it was okay. But something about it just never really clicked with me, and now every time I see the reruns on TBS, I have to stop and watch at least 15 minutes of it till a commercial break or something.
That was one of those few shows that my wife and I watched religiously every week. It was-
Right there, Steve.
Yeah.
Right there. Boom.
Yeah, every week.
Well, but better late than never, I guess, in my appreciation, as far as that's concerned.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's been real.
Yes, it has.
It's been fun,
A blast.
but it has been real fun.
Oh, no, it has.
No,
It most certainly has.
I've actually enjoyed the time, and I can't wait until we get on at our usual time, 5 to damn 11, and I don't care what you say about that.
I have a feeling, though, it's not going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen.
I
You know
just-
why? Because we're the best damn radio show on this damn station.
No, we are. We are actually the best show on the station. I was thinking about it earlier. Let's go out on a high note of me just kind of thumping my chest a little bit. There are no shows on this station. There are no shows on this station that do what we do.
Nope.
There are no shows on this station that provide the production value that we provide.
Zero.
There are no shows on this station that can do the types of things that we do, as far as doing flashbacks and montages and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
Week in and week out, I think we've proved the fact that we're here and we're dedicated and we do more and put more effort into this show than probably other shows combined.
I'm going to reach back into the time, the time machine,
Sure.
and bring out the very arrogant Jared and say,
You don't have to reach back that far.
No, exactly. We have an actual announcer that announces our show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not some hokey dokey crap done on a laptop. Boom, I said it.
Yes, you did.
We got a guy whose name I can't remember at the moment,
Jeffrey Hutchins.
but he will be credited next show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have production value.
Absolutely.
You know what this is? This is like trying to compete with Warner Brothers, and you being just a small-time outfit on your iPhone. You can't take fantastic video.
I mean, I do use my iPhone a lot.
No,
for this
but you see
program,
what
but
you see the
I get-
analogy.
I get where
drawing.
I get where you're going. Yeah.
I don't care what happens.
I understand exactly
I mean,
what's
there's some.
happening.
I'm not knocking everybody out there because some people put on really good shows. right? But that's not all that goes, right?
Right.
I'm talking about people, specific people, and you know who you are. You know who you are.
There you go. We're getting back on.
Yeah, we're still the best show here on the station. That's all
I'm
it
just
comes down to.
I'm not well, just saying.
Here's,
Some of the students here do a great job. Good job.
There you go.
Hey, you're graduating. You will never hear my voice again. Maybe in your dreams.
Oh, we're going to close this out with the man who's been partially our competition this year, but we're happy to share Saturday nights with him. Here's Alice Cooper with you. We'll see you in September. Bye.
Oh, shit. Did I really just say that?
I don't want to hear that shit. Smells.
Then you can't.
He's a... Oh, I can put it in the wrong place.
What a leave the pussy alone. Stop. I hate when you wake up with a pussy in your face.
Oh, you can say pissed.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's why we don't say words like oh, shit. I'd cover the album in freaking You can say shit.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she leaves mine alone.
We don't need these people messing it up.
It's an utter
Don't do that
I think you can say bitch. Yes, I'm leaving.
And that is the show.
That's our show.
That's our show.
Come here, bitch. Let's
Yeah.
be effing tea.